So I thought you couldn't apparate within Hogwarts?
Well, being me has its privileges.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 most powerful movie characters of all time.
Stand back, you fools!
For this list, we'll be looking at any big screen characters that are incredibly powerful in their respective universes and are not superheroes. We'll be including animated characters, but leaving off anime specifically, as that's a list for another day. Did we forget a worthy character that can hold their own? Let us know in the comments.
Hey Mojoholics! For a chance to win cash prizes, play our live daily trivia challenges every day at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern only at WatchMojo.com/play.
Number 20, Davey Jones, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. As the embodiment of pure evil, Davey Jones strikes fear into the heart of any sailor as the devil of the high seas. Jones becomes the main antagonist for the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise in the second film, Dead Man's Chest.
Do you feel this? Do you feel that dark abyss?
It's only through the tremendous efforts of many people that the villain can be brought down. Commanding the Flying Dutchman, the captain takes over ships and commands the mythical Kraken. His only major weakness is receiving an injury to his heart, which is neatly locked up.
Eddie Tonic, holding life and death in the palm of one's hand.
You're a cruel mind, Jack Sparrow.
Cruel is a matter of perspective.
Is it?
Through the power of sequels, the Seaman was still able to return even after being mortally wounded. Number 19, The Mimic, Edge of Tomorrow. In the underrated adaptation of All You Need Is Kill, Tom Cruise's character, Major William Cage, finds himself in a never-ending loop of warfare. He and his fellow soldiers must fight the feared mimics that always seem to be one step ahead.
It's the brain. It controls them all. And this is the Omega. And the Omega has the ability to control time.
Cage relives the same day over and over until he realizes that the Omega alien has the same power as him. This allows the leader to plan and execute operations with minimal pushback, along with controlling followers with nimble reflexes and cunning battlefield tactics.
You see, this time, it can remember what's going to happen just like you do.
It knows exactly what we're going to do before we're going to do it.
And an enemy that knows the future can't lose.
It's a fearsome ability that easily tears through most opponents and nearly conquers the Earth in the process. Number 18, The Iron Giant. The Iron Giant.
It's bad to kill. Guns kill. And you don't have to be a gun. You are what you choose to be.
The Iron Giant takes the idea of man's best friend to a whole new level. It's a massive robot that seems impervious to traditional armaments. Speaking of weapons, the metal being has more than a few gadgets to fire at anyone in its way. This includes a massive energy weapon that could very well double for an atomic blast. The combination of armor, launchers, and a skyscraper-esque figure incites fear into any military personnel. Its ability to reassemble also makes it a genuine force to be reckoned with, potentially able to survive any serious attack.
You are who you choose to be.
Superman.
Number 17, Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty. Identified by her dramatic wardrobe choices and sorcery, Maleficent isn't known as the mistress of all evil for nothing. She's the central antagonist in the classic Sleeping Beauty story, cursing Princess Aurora with eternal slumber.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die.
Her magical powers don't stop at spells or imposing physicality either. Later in the film, she's even able to turn into a humongous dragon that's a towering presence with fiery breath. This and her loyal army make her a commanding figure in the fairy tale. Powered by spite, this villain never stops in her never-ending crusade to ruin the heroine's life.
You poor simple fools. thinking you could defeat me, the mistress of all evil. Well, here's your precious princess.
Number 16, Pinhead, the Hellraiser franchise. Among the more visually striking villains of his kind, Pinhead is the cornerstone of the Hellraiser franchise.
The box. You opened it. We came.
It's just a puzzle box!
Oh no. It is a means to summon us.
Who are you?
His first appearance in the original film features his trademark nails. As a member of the Cenobites, this sadomasochistic being tortures those that get in his way. This includes chaining up victims and ripping them apart. The interdimensional antagonist can be summoned by a puzzle box, usually coming to attack the solver. Pinhead's powers seem to focus on destructive and violent behavior, bringing the antagonist some kind of pleasure as a result.
Amy Klein. You opened the box. You brought us all together. And now you must pay the price.
He's been compared to the likes of a devil, but with his own misguided agenda that makes him even more dangerous throughout the series. Number 15, Clover, the Cloverfield Paradox. When a crew of astronauts accidentally open a portal to another universe, you get the Cloverfield Paradox.
It just doesn't make any sense.
The device was outputting a massive amount of energy, but then there was some kind of malfunction.
Setting up the events of the other Cloverfield movies, this project hints at the destruction that happens on Earth after a test gone wrong. The Clover creature comes to wreak havoc as an agent of pure chaos on the planet. With a final image that sets up the coming invasion, the unknown being emerges in the sky to let out an ear-piercing screech. The gigantic enemy boasts enough energy to tear through cities, rip off statue heads, and survive military weapons at the same time. This doesn't even count the parasites that cling to it. Number 14, Samara Morgan, the Ring franchise.
You don't want to hurt anyone.
But I do, and I'm sorry. It won't stop.
For the American adaptation of the Japanese series, The Ring establishes a terrifying central figure named Samara Morgan. She's known for her long black hair and silent presence that's found in a deadly video. According to the franchise's famous rule, watch her creepy tape and you'll die in 7 days. Morgan possesses the minds of victims in order to make them insane with disturbing images. She also has the power to morph through TV screens, inducing fear into viewers before murdering them. Her disturbing abilities are both unpredictable and can take down people psychologically without even getting near them.
And I'm sorry. It won't stop.
Number 13, The Bewilderbeast, the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. Trumping most other dragons with its size and number of abilities, the Bewilderbeast easily overpowers others of its kind.
Another one?
Class 10! Class 10!
It also has a few surprises that differentiate it from the standard myth. Rather than breathe fire, the beast can unleash ice from its mouth. It can also use sound waves to compel other dragons to fight on its side. Not only do they have a tremendously imposing presence, but they can also command armies to their will. For the sequel, How to Train Your Dragon 2, there are 2 Bewilderbeasts that end up fighting each other in a destructive battle. Number 12, Freddy Krueger, the A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. How do you run away from a monster that can enter your dreams? A Nightmare on Elm Street continuously poses this question, while establishing one of the most menacing slasher villains ever.
Please, God.
This is God.
Freddy Krueger is a killer that preys upon his victims in their sleep. As long as he's in the dream world, Krueger can do almost anything. Only in reality does he lose his full effect. Through many different sequels, the murderer becomes increasingly creative as he summons objects and finds other ways to kill people. Most people have a hard time dealing with the nemesis as they're unable to stay awake for too long.
You're dreaming, but you don't know it. Like, even if you're awake. And then it says that after that, your brain will shut down, inducing a coma. Just permanent sleep.
Number 11. Mega-Kaiju, Pacific Rim Uprising. With the concept of monsters versus mechanized robots, Pacific Rim Uprising takes a deeper look into the potential of this entertaining setup. This includes taking the kaiju threat to another level.
Guardians, stand down! We've got this! Negative, that's an order! You freaking teenagers! Go for the eyes! Which ones? All of them!
While the Jaeger pilots have enough trouble with a regular one, they're easily outmatched by the Mega-Kaiju. Imagine 3 monsters morphing into a singular being with more strength, better reflexes, and the ability to easily throw its adversaries hundreds of feet. In a major fight near the end, the enemy destroys multiple Jaegers. It's only through a dangerous and complex maneuver that the Mega-Kaiju can be defeated.
Do you have enough fuel left in your thrusters to launch us into the atmosphere?
The atmosphere?
Yeah.
Possibly, but there won't be enough to slow your re-entry.
We don't need to slow down. We're gonna drop Gypsy right on top of that thing.
Number 10. Lucy Miller, Lucy. The title character of this film absorbs a drug that gives her a near infinite number of powers. With increased brain capacity, she becomes a telepathic genius that can read minds. She also develops telekinesis and other abilities that make her nearly unstoppable.
I feel everything.
What do you mean, sweetie?
Space. The air.
The bulk of her skills come out in action scenes, showcasing her mental and physical hold over anyone that crosses her. As the movie progresses, Lucy even time travels before evolving beyond human form. Her advanced state is powerful enough to enter the space-time continuum. While it's left open-ended as to her ultimate endgame, she definitely exists in a plane that transcends human comprehension.
Where is she?
Number 9. Unicron, the Transformers franchise.
Who said that? I am Unicron.
Revolving around the battle between Autobots and Decepticons, the Transformers series features a mix of shape-shifting aliens fighting each other. Unicron makes even the mighty Optimus Prime look weak compared to his majestic power. Along with its incredible size, the being can completely destroy entire planets. For his appearance in 1986's The Transformers, the movie, he commands a mighty presence, which'll happen when you're voiced by the legendary Orson Welles.
Destroy the Matrix.
Unicron has since made the leap to live action, serving as the big bad, emphasis on big, in Rise of the Beasts. Given his incredible size, it's easy to see why he's such a feared and enigmatic part of the lore. Number 8. T-1000, Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Get down.
The T-1000 is an upgrade from the previous Terminator model in every way. He's as persistent as the T-800, but much more resistant to damage. Made from liquid metal, he can walk away from gunshots and explosions without a scratch. Even when completely shattered, he can pull himself back together in no time. His abilities to shapeshift and form bladed weapons give him an extra edge in assassination missions. Granted, the T-800 bested the T-1000 in the end, but that's only because he was conveniently standing by a container of molten steel, which would have melted down any Terminator model. Future installments would push these advancements even further with the nanotechnology of T-3000 in Terminator Genesis. Number 7. Imhotep, the Mummy franchise. Boris Karloff's 1932 incarnation of Imhotep might have been creepier, but the 1999 version of the Mummy was easily the most powerful monster ever to storm through Egypt. The High Priest is buried alive with scarab beetles, but returns 3,000 years later with the intent of reviving the 10 biblical plagues. Imhotep additionally gains the abilities to unleash a hurricane of sand and amass a legion of zombified human slaves.
You will never eat, you will never sleep, you will never stop.
While he's described as a walking disease, Imhotep isn't without a few weaknesses. He has an irrational fear of cats, and reading from the Book of Amun-Ra deprives him of his immortal status. In the end, though, a broken heart is what keeps Imhotep buried for good. Number 6. Neo, the Matrix franchise. Initially believing he's nothing more than an ordinary programmer and hacker, Thomas A. Anderson, also known as Neo, learns that he's trapped inside a virtual reality. Venturing down the rabbit hole, he rises up as mankind's last hope against robot overlords. Thanks to the source code he carries, he's able to fly at rapid speed, manipulate his surroundings, dodge bullets, take on entire armies, and withstand brutal beatings. Oh, and he also knows Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu.
Just as his name is a not-so-subtle anagram of one, Neo serves as an allegory for Jesus, sacrificing himself and bouncing back from death to triumph over evil. Whoa. Number 5. Godzilla, the Godzilla franchise. Before proceeding, let's address the giant lizard in the room. The monster from that 1998 movie is not Godzilla. The real Godzilla wouldn't die from a few measly missiles. The king of the monsters would pick himself up even after a massive warhead explosion, only fitting since he was conceived as a metaphor for nuclear weapons. With over 30 films under his belt, Godzilla's size has varied over the years, ranging from roughly 164 feet in the 1954 classic to over 350 in the 2014 reboot. Either way, you wouldn't want to be caught underfoot or on the receiving end of his devastating atomic breath. Number 4. Albus Dumbledore, the Harry Potter franchise.
You seem to be laboring under the delusion that I'm going to... What was the phrase? Come quietly.
Albus Dumbledore isn't just the head cheese at Hogwarts. He's also hiding his talents as a serious sorcerer. He might not use the bulk of his powers until later in the series, but the character packs a serious punch in his attempt to restore balance to the wizarding world. He's even someone that the likes of Voldemort come to worry about because of his wisdom and vast knowledge of magic. Considering the latter's abilities, it's especially impressive to know that Dumbledore can match up against almost any dark arts figure. Even in death, his earlier efforts and influence help save Harry Potter and bring peace to the world. Number 3. Genie, Aladdin.
Wish fulfillment?
3 wishes to be exact.
This all-powerful wish fulfiller is given only 3 restrictions. He can't kill, influence romantic feelings, or resurrect the dead. Outside of that, he can grant his master any 3 wishes with a zap of his finger. Along the way, he entertains himself by shapeshifting into various celebrities, putting on extravagant musical numbers, and shattering the fourth wall.
Come on, whisper what it is you want. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Of course, his phenomenal cosmic power does come with the drawback of having to spend eternity in an itty-bitty lamp, something Jafar should have considered when he upgraded from sorcerer to genie. With his last wish, Aladdin releases Genie from this restriction, freeing the big blue spirit to become his own master.
I'm free. I'm free.
Number 2. Sauron, the Lord of the Rings franchise.
In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring.
A fallen Maya, the Middle-earth equivalent of demigods, Sauron's greatest weapon is the One Ring, which allows him to control the other rings of power. Even when it falls into other hands, however, his spirit lives on through the ring, enabling him to return as the formidable necromancer of Dol Guldur, who proves more than a match even for Gandalf. He later manifests as a flaming, all-seeing eye in Mordor. On top of that, he has a legion of orcs and 9 immortal ring wraiths at his beck and call. The only way to stop him is by throwing the ring into the fires of Mount Doom, located deep behind enemy lines. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Darth Vader, the Star Wars franchise.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
There's no shortage of powerful characters on both the light and dark sides of the Force, from wise Master Yoda to lightning-hurling Emperor Palpatine. But only Jedi prodigy Anakin Skywalker is the Chosen One, a powerful hero for the light, and menacing villain once he forsakes his friends and emerges more machine than man.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil!
As Darth Vader, he has command over the Emperor's Imperial forces, and a space station capable of obliterating entire planets. His mastery of the dark side allows him to choke someone with a gesture, and tear his way through a hallway of soldiers. And his destiny as the Chosen One means even his former and current masters better take care.
You underestimate the power of the dark side.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.